Today we got one of the most legendary coaches out of Philadelphia in the last decade or two. 2022 City of Palms champion, 12-time Public League champion, 10-time state champion. With no further ado, MHOTEP Charter head basketball coach Andre Noble. Thanks for being on Air with Rare. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on, Rare?
All is well, all is well. Thanks for taking time out your
What's
day to
going on?
kick it with me, man.
Not a problem, bro.
You know, it's that time of the year again, man, where the dogs in full training, getting ready for war, man. How you feeling about this upcoming season?
Like it's obviously it's really early right now, but we actually just had a significant injury to our team. But I really like this group. We got hard workers that are gym guys. They compete the right way. I really like our group.
Right. Yeah. I played for you back in the day. I was the class of 2008, 62-48. We were going to
Mhm.
school in trailers. We didn't have our own gym to play in or practice in. Did you ever
Sure.
see yourself where you are today?
Well, I mean, once we got here, obviously when we started, back in those days, I didn't, we didn't, we always thought we would be able to be competitive and be able to be a good basketball program. But to the heights that it's, arisen to at this point, it's just been a blessing for us. Like, and I say us because it's not just been me, right? It's been me. We have a core group of coaches that have been a part of our staff for, almost a decade. And so, that core group of guys, and then obviously all the players that played here, that brotherhood that they have has been, it's helped us get where we are today.
Mm. Now, fortunately, but unfortunately, a year later, after I leave, 2009, you won your first state championship. How was that feeling? Take us back to that moment.
Great, man. Obviously, well, first was winning the first public league title in that same year. That was just, I didn't realize how important it was for me, but it was important. And just really feeling like finally being able to have a season where we won titles. And I really believe that, somewhere along that line, even before that, just learning how to be. One of the things I really try to be is be poised and be patient in the moments.
Hmm.
Just being to me like being like definitely being a positive influence in those critical moments, making sure I'm communicating well, and then sometimes. As coaches, we get so involved in the game that we're not able to um, you know, give proper instruction at the wrong time. And so I really feel like, as we were approaching those moments, like I felt like I learned how to get better in those areas. And it's, with a culminating of winning in '09, that really, helped our program, definitely helped me as a coach. And obviously that got the ball rolling. And now what is that now? We're at 15 years later,
Yep.
right now, 10 state titles
Yep.
and 12 public league titles
Yep.
and a lot of national level success that we've had here. Um, it's been a blessing, man.
Now let's fast forward just a little bit. When I say just a little bit, let's fast forward 21 championships later. Does that feeling never get old?
You know what? I do know that for me, like, and I don't, as long as I'm, healthy, I love coaching, so I'm not like looking to not coach. But I know, like, once I only know how to do it with putting in the time that we do. Like where we believe in skill and player development, and we believe in strength development. Like we invest a lot in our guys in the off seasons. At the times where I don't want to do like all the things, like our work really never ends. And once I know that I don't want to do all of that, that's when I know it's going to be the time to like, all right, move on. Let
Yeah.
someone else do this. Because it's, literally, we won the championship last year. The next week, I was in the gym with some of our guys.
Mm.
Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, let's go celebrate for a month or two. And then I was, no,
No, the
the
work
next
is
week, I
never
was in the
done.
gym. Yeah, we were back in the lab. It's a couple of days and some pictures, and then it's work lab. And having guys that are like understand that this is a constant skill training development is important for us because we can't compete with the national level programs if we don't
Put the work.
train and work the way we do. We just can't. We won't be good enough if we don't do that.
Right, and that just shows the testament of the hard work is undefeated. Like you can't shortcut the grind.
No, I mean if you can, I don't know how to do that. So
Yeah.
I just know how to do it the way we do it.
Coach, 2017, you guys went down Florida and beat a national powerhouse in Mount Verde at their house, which broke a 55 game home win streak. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. That season was magical. That team had. What's so funny? I'm gonna take you a little bit before that. That the beginning of that year, we lost to Newman at Arcadia early in the season. I think it was like our second game or something, and we lost, and we were like looking at us like, oh snap! It was a great. Sometimes loss is a great. It was a great loss for us because it helped us to like get really focused about I think our guys were questioning like, dang, are we gonna be really good this year? Or are we just like we're not good enough? Because we had a blend. We had some seniors, and then we had like those young boys. Like we had Dante and Fats, and I mean Dante and Sharif and JJ. Like we had that was the group.
Mhm.
And so it was like, we got to see where we could take it. And I think we were just so on edge about not knowing where we were from that loss. We actually went down to beach ball and won beach ball. That was
Mm.
like huge. That was a huge moment for us to win a national tournament like that. So like that year we had the clock running on Christ the King.
Mm. New
Uh,
York
we we
powerhouse.
beat yeah we beat Bishop Gorman.
Mm.
Uh, they beat Dillard, which they were like a big physical team that won their state title. And then we ended beating Evanston, who had the kid Noel Eastern, like
Mm.
with a beatty with a putback layup as time expires, and we win beach ball. Then we go to Montverde and beat Montverde on their home court. And so, like that year, that team didn't. After that game that we lost at Newman, we did not lose another game and finished number 2 in the country.
Number two in the
So it
nation.
was just yeah, like so it. Sometimes, man, losses at the right time are they can like really elevate a team. And I really felt like that game against Newman really helped us.
I mean, coach, going into Mount Verde, a 55 game win streak at home, and you guys broke that is like crazy. Like how many teams came and tried and failed, and then little old MHOTEP from the city of Philadelphia goes down there and knock them off.
Yeah, you know what? That's we talk about this a lot. Where, it's one of the privileges that we get to do. Like we get to go represent our city, like nationally in basketball, and we've been doing that really since that team, right? For consistently, like year by year by year by year, no matter who's here or no matter what star or not star. Like, and a couple of times we get our face kicked in, and a lot of times we've had a ton of success. But we appreciate, like I tell our guys all the time, you get to represent Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And everybody don't get a chance to do that, but you get to represent Philadelphia in in high school. Like, obviously they do that on the AAU scenes, but
Yep.
like you guys get to do that during your high school season. And I was like, that's not everywhere. Doesn't that doesn't happen, and you guys should take pride and representing your city. And so we've had, obviously, winning beach ball that year, winning Montverde that year, winning the city of Palms. Like we've had a lot of like success. We've I think 2 or 3-0 at Hoop Hall. So we've had a lot of success of our style, traveling in those national events, and then being able to be successful in it. So that's another thing that's been cool.
Speaking on representing Philadelphia, coach, fast forward 5 years later, you go back down Florida and win the City of Palms. I believe that was the
Yeah,
first time ever a Philadelphia team went down there and won the whole thing. How did you guys pull that off
actually in the state, in the first team from the state of Pennsylvania
from the
to
state?
ever win
Mm,
the win the City of Palms. Just a great experience, right? Second round, we played a really good step in that team, um, which a really electric guard play. I think we're down like 10. We walk down and win that game to get to the semifinal. And I really felt winning that game like the way we did, of walking them down and like coming back like we did. It was just another big boost. Like,
mm,
and I was like, oh, that's gonna help. Then the next game we beat Isaiah Collier
yes.
and Wheeler, and they had like a really good team. We beat them, and then we played Columbus and the Boozer Twins. Luckily, like the sophomore Boozer Twins, even though they were still really
Yeah,
good,
really, yes.
because that game I was like, oh my gosh, how good is Big Boozer gonna be when he's a senior? Jeez,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
He's a load.
he was. No, he's a really they're a really good team and very well coached team.
Yep.
But our guys like really locked in defensively, which is what when we're playing well, it's usually we're like really guarding, and I felt like we like overwhelmed them defensively.
Hmm.
And then what the other thing that was like super cool is the City of Palms is in Fort Myers, which is where Florida Gulf Coast is. Ra's the whole coaching staff was there watching him play, and for him to be the MVP of the City of Palms in the city that he plays in now, that was like a super dope moment for him. And the thing that led that team to be so successful, and I told the reporters after that, like, we had a Justin, Ra, and Ahmad,
Hmm.
and I was like, yo, they celebrate each other's successes. Like they're not envious of one another. Like they were really happy for Ramir, like to the giggling, laughing, like throwing water on. They just like was really happy for him. And I was like, that's one of the things that's their brotherhood, that brotherhood that we speak of a lot, is one of the reasons that we've been able to be successful.
Yeah, speaking of those guys, 2023, you lose two of the best players that ever played for your program in Ramir Barno and Justin Edwards. What was it like coaching those guys?
Great. They've been here since they were ninth graders, and Ross started like probably like game 3 or 4 into his freshman year, and Justin followed like mid-year, and they've just held down this program the whole time they were here. We didn't get a chance to. We lost in the public league. That's the last time we lost the public league playoff game. And or public league game period was their freshman year, and then trying to think. Yeah, then after that, they've held down this basketball program for the time that they had been here, both of them. So, and then obviously Ahmad coming when they were juniors and him being a sophomore,
Yep.
they just like created an amazing run for us. So. That was cool to be able to coach those guys, and especially, what the other thing that's happened here, where is in a day and age now where you just got so many of like your best guys like transferring to other schools, hitting the NIBC and, going to these preps out of like traditional high school settings. And I know it's going to happen eventually, but we just been blessed that our kids have stayed and graduated from here. And like I said again, like the brotherhood that they have, even of our alums, like our alums still are in group chats with our guys that still play here. And that like being able to, experience when they come home or when it's the off time, they always come into practice and what's up and show love. Like that energy that they have amongst each other is like super cool. And I think it's helped us to be able to like maintain some of our guys. Even though that stuff is some of the things are just inevitable with like like the way high school basketball is going.
Mhm.
But to this point, we've been able to like kind of keep the Justin Edwards and Barnos and Ahmad Noels.
Yeah, and it shows, coach, it shows, you don't got to leave a school to get what you want. Obviously, Justin Edwards to Kentucky, Ramir Barno, Florida Gulf Coast, and Emmanuel to UConn. What's for you is what's for you. You don't got to go to a different program to get, what you deserve. You can actually be at a public school, inner city public school, and still get what you deserve.
100%.
Um,
In this city, definitely.
yeah. Justin Edwards was ranked ESPN #1 and was the first
Mhm.
McDonald's All-American in school history. What was going through your
Yep.
mind when the official rosters was announced? Because you coached like guys like Donta Scott, Brandon Austin, Fats Russell, and etc. But Justin Edwards was the first McDonald's to come out your program. Walk us through that.
Super excited for him. Like, Justin wasn't like a name coming into high school at all, but he's like a super hard worker. I always say when I'm talking about Justin Edwards, credit like, and it goes to hopefully like parents understanding that. Shout out and credit to Ebony Twiggs, whose mom played at U City and played overseas. But she just like, obviously trusted us. And then, when Justin as a ninth grader would have his moments, she always like, nah, you got to go back there and fight.
Yeah.
And, making him go back and fight, by the time he was a sophomore, it was no need to do that anymore because he just learned it in himself. And sometimes I see like, I talk about like accountability is love. And sometimes it's hard for parents to like see their kids fail. And it's okay to fail at something small. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes not wanting to fail at anything, like in my opinion, it stops some of the blessings that they can have later on in life.
Agree. Coach, now you lose two of those guys to graduation, and I don't know if you heard it, but it was a lot of barbershop talk. MHOTEP fell off. They done. There's no way they can get back to the mountaintop. You lost two of the best players to ever come through there. And then I think they forgot about one kid that was left in Ahmad Noel. What do you think of people saying that it was over and they still couldn't be good, and then yet you guys win the city championship again, the public league championship, and the state championship?
So we don't. This is not the first time this has happened, right? Because what we generally try to like you'll see like a new kid happen to come here like by transfer occasionally for us, but for the most part, our team is guys that we have as ninth graders that we just build up and they just take over for where guys left. So this is not the first time, right? Like, so when Fast and them left in 2017, it was like, they got, then we'll wait till Dante and them leave in 2019. Well, we had Justin Edwards and Ramir Barno. Oh, yeah, so we always experience that. So it's not, that conversation was not new. And a lot of credit, obviously, to like Ahmad of leading his team. But you know what, Rare? I really feel like our young kids like really, really answered the call last year. So like teams would double mod and sit in his gaps all day, where it just forced our guys to make plays. And they did everything. I was like, we used to talk about it. Like, we know that they're going to double mod. We know that they're going to put extra bodies in front of them. And when it's time to make the other plays, every time someone did that, we were like, every time they do that, they lose.
Yes.
Like, so let them keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, RJ Smith is going to make the big shot or the big plays. I felt RJ in the St. Joe's prep game, like, really came up huge. And then,
Very huge, yes.
obviously, Zah Muhammad Gray was huge all year, but like in that game against the Math at Hoopal,
Yes.
came up like big, like so. And then obviously RJ hits the three to tie the game against Ryan in the semifinal for the states,
Yep.
and that's a big play,
One of the biggest shots of the year.
Yeah, like so it's like. I feel like, obviously Ahmad was like great, like, it was amazing for us and a great leader in the building, great leader in practice, great leader in the wars. But those other guys, RJ Smith, Zal Muhammad Gray, Lawrenzano White, all those other guys came up large for us, as well as, towards the end of the year. The other thing that people don't talk about is like 85% of the season, we don't play with one of our Division One seniors, which was Makai Taylor. And, he came back and helped us down the stretch too, just to be able to be another body. And Jeremiah White was super solid for us all year long. So I felt like our other guys, like obviously they're not as heralded and they weren't our star, but especially those young guys, I felt like they came up large all year. And it's one of the reasons why, like, even as we pivoted to this upcoming season, I don't feel like they've missed a beat because they already have had experience with what they've done. They've already been like kind of like in some wars and understand like, okay, and then they've gotten better and in some cases taller and bigger. So that's why they've just been like moving forward.
Speaking of your younger guys, Coach, you have one of the best sophomores in the country, highly touted, ESPN number 17, Zion Green. What are you expecting from Zion Green, and what leaps are you expecting him to take?
So I'll tell you one of the things I was like just so like I'm usually excited about little things, and so in Philly Live, we're in a war. I forget which team we were playing, but Z gets hit in the head, so he's bleeding. Like literally, blood is coming down his over his eye, and he runs over to the table, like gets a quick little band-aid, and runs back and checks back in the game. And what I say that to say, like Zion's toughness has like grown so much over the course of a short period of time. Because that same time in Philly Live the previous year, he just couldn't be out there. It was really hard, and he went from that to one calendar year to being like one of the better prospects on the floor and on any court in Philly Live. And that's just like a credit of his work. I credit too, like Rodney, his dad, Rodney Green, retired after a successful international career, and he serves as his main trainer, and then we like supplemented. Coach Stan kind of supplements it and our team about his other training, but Rodney's been like really like invested in training Zion the entire year, and he's done a good job of just keep adding things to his bag. And Zion learns like super quick. Like he picks something up and then he can do it. He's like talent wise, bro, like just ultra talented to be like, he's 6'10" now, where like I know some people say, I see some things still got him listed at 6'8". He's 6'10" for sure. Like I'm looking at him and looking at the next, like, I'm like,
And still look like
Zion
he's
is
going upward.
6'10".
He's going upward.
No, it doesn't look like he's stopping
Yeah.
growing. Like when he first got here, Rodney was a little taller than him, and now he's like is
Shot over.
significantly taller. Yeah, he's significantly taller than his dad. So like he doesn't look like he's stopping to grow, and we're excited about like just some of the things that we're able to play with both him and Zah Muhammad Gray, because we don't really have a 5-man. We have like wings and guards, and so we feel like we're going to be able to like take advantage of like their skill, and we're going to work on like making sure that we put like more traditional bigs, trying to put them in bad spots, with them having a guard. What they really going to have to do is guard guards.
Now, in this upcoming season, Coach, you have one senior projected in your starting lineup, according to Rare for the Sports, in Cornell Henderson, but you have a few
Yes.
of the top 2026s in the area and one of the best 2027s in all of America. What is your approach going into the season?
We have guys that we know we can count on. Obviously they all have different roles. Like it's not. We're not trying to replace Ahmad Noel with one guy. We feel like those 5 guys are going to replace. They're going to replace him collectively. RJ is going to have to go from being the other guy, like with the basketball, to the guy with the basketball. Right? It's not going to be an Ahmad Noel like as the main guard. It's going to be RJ Smith as the main guy. Then Cornell Henderson. To me, he's one of the most improved players in the area. And we just had open gym yesterday. I think he's a Division One basketball. I mean, I don't even think I'm super confident that he's a Division One basketball player. And then obviously you mentioned Zion. I mentioned Muhammad Gray, who looked outstanding. He's been playing really well, but he looks outstanding right now, and he's working really hard. And then Latif Lawrenzano White,
Yes.
really put that thing on in terms of size. That's 6'10", 6'7", 6'4", 6'3", 5'9". That's.
I believe you guys got the best first five in Philadelphia. I mean, like you said, with the long athletic wings and then R.J. Smith on the ball is like your first five is as good as any in Philadelphia.
And you know what though? The other thing about this fall is our other guys stepping up. We got really good freshman group. Guys like Ian Smith played a lot in Philly Live, and Rocky Johnson has been turning a corner for us.
How about
Then
the
we got a couple
2025
of
pickup, Talasi? How about that pickup?
Talasi Henderson. Is like an all athlete, that can get up and down and really athletic. I think people are gonna be able to say wow, not be able to really. I don't think Talasi's really known in the area, but he's got a lot of talent. So him blending in with these guys and some of the other guys that we have, we have guys that can fill these spaces. But I think that for us, that's what this fall is those guys filling out these other spaces of who's going to help this team be a really good basketball team.
Coach, before I let you go, I gotta ask this question. It's all over the basketball community in Philadelphia, every barbershop, all through the city. You mentioned earlier you guys are losing RJ for a little bit amount of time. Are you guys duck and wreck? Will you guys play St. Joe's Prep or Father Judge this season, or will you guys play both of them? Let me know. The people want to know.
So MHOTEP charter and duck rec, those things don't happen, right? Our non-league schedule every year is loaded, and it doesn't. It's not even about those. We go to Hawaii. That field, when you see that field that they have in Hawaii, it's insane, right? It's an insane field. We'll be there at the Alani Classic. We're playing at Maid's event. We'll be after Maid's event. We're coming back home to play in the Rare Footage Classic.
Yes, December 30th.
Yes, the schedule is loaded, and we're actually still working on playing both of those groups. So we're talking about both of them. I think we're gonna work it out. It's just been trying to the date stuff is always difficult, but all three of us are us and St. Joe's Prep are definite. We are playing. We've identified two dates that could work, and then working with Chris with Father Judge to make sure that we can find a location and all that stuff. But everyone's trying, so that's the other thing for me. I feel like having one of the better public league schools for us to have really good public Catholic games in our city.
Yes.
That usually means right now that we're playing.
Yes.
And so I always try to do that, not even only for us, but for our city, for us to have things that we want. So it's very rare for me to not do something that I think is of interest or that the city would want to see us do, because to me that makes basketball cool in our city. So I try to do that as much as we can.
Coach Noble, man, thanks for kicking it with me. Thanks for being on air with Rare. Before I let you go, can I get a drop? I need you to shout out Rare Footage Sports for me.
So you know what's so funny? Before I go, I was gonna say as a graduate, just so proud of what you're doing, Rare. You have we didn't talk about Rare. You came to our campus, spoke to our kids, and just you being able to put your story to little groups and be able to learn from both your stumbles and now your ascent. Just really proud. Proud that you're a graduate of the school. Proud of what you're doing, Rare.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
All right, my man.
One time. Talk to you, Coach.
Peace.
Peace.